Hello, my name is Brian Garcia and I'll be presenting highlighting for my learning strategy presentation. Highlighting is a text-based annotation strategy classified both as a cognitive and metacognitive reading and comprehension technique. You basically mark key phrases, concepts, or terms within a written passage or text, and then by doing this you have a better understanding and organization of information in the text or the passage which you are highlighting. This improves encoding into memory. Highlighting is a way of basically marking important parts of the text or passage that you're highlighting, and it helps you think about and understand what you're reading. So how does highlighting work? So highlighting is basically you follow this type of procedure. You preview the material or you skim it to get a sense of its structure and main ideas. So basically you read the text without highlighting or marking anything, just to form initial thoughts. And then on the second reading, you use a highlighter to mark words or passages, represent main ideas, key terms, or just key information in general. And you could use one color or more colors depending on how you highlight. And then you review your highlights, just use them for summarizing or just elaboration. And then by intentionally focusing your attention to these highlights, you'll reduce large amounts of information and make it easier to review. Also, something to avoid is excessively highlighting. Mainly focus on key information and don't try to get every detail. A reason why is because Dunlowski 2013 found that students trained to highlight strategically found that they scored higher on comprehension tests than those who highlighted indiscriminately. So basically this means that people who highlighted selectively comprehended the information more than those who just highlighted for the sake of highlighting. So how does highlighting help? So highlighting helps you with forcing you to choose the most important parts of the text, which means you only have to keep track of key ideas instead of everything you read. This reduces cramming of information and makes you think more deeply about the material in text. Also, it helps with motivation. When you highlight, you feel in control of what you're learning and makes reading more engaging. And it also helps with understanding. When highlighting is used alongside other visual cues like color codes, readers focus better on key parts and understanding more, according to Hughes ETL 2024. Also, make sure to highlight selectively because highlighting can guide attention, but it doesn't automatically lead to better comprehension unless it's done carefully. For my CS 161 class, I used highlighting to memorize and understand my notes more. So the notes I firstly took on my laptop, and they were basically on specific topics on the study guide that was given to us. Since the notes were long, I used highlighting to make them shorter and just only emphasize key information. I tried to highlight only the important key information to avoid highlighting for just the sake of highlighting. And when I finished highlighting, I reviewed them and then referred back to the original text to see if it was accurate enough. And then during the day of the quiz, I just referred to my highlighted notes a few times just to refresh my memory. So the outcome was that I passed my quiz. I got a 22 out of 25. During the quiz, I didn't feel unprepared. I felt like when I was highlighting, I was able to memorize the key information very well. And this also helped me understand the flaws in my studying, such as trying to cram lots of information. So highlighting really helped me, and understanding the topics in the study guide and basically exclude the redundant information and just try to focus more on the key information. Some improvements that you could add are just to color code so visual learners can quickly distinguish between different ideas. Yellow for key terms and then blue for examples. Or if you're trying to memorize formulas such as like you're doing a physics or a math exam, you can use an asterisk for equations just to give you that extra emphasis. And for people who don't really use highlighting for beginners, you can start with a simple rule such as highlighting definitions and main points until you feel comfortable choosing your own. Thank you for watching. This is it for my presentation here, my credits and citations.